Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. So, it's time to get ready to get started for the 2019-20 exhibited series on the manufactured series. So, looks like it's time to get ready to get started. So, here we go. This is going to be where I have to take the first round. It's going to be at Red Bull Ring, for the number of laps is 15. And we'll be able to start out by using Group 3 for now. So, this is going to get everything. We'll be prepared to take a good look of the moment of the condition that we're about to race. So, looks like we'll be able to be ready to race on the rain condition as well. So, this is going to be able to have to take the racing regulation we'll be able to use on the racing heavy wet and intermediate tires. So, this is going to get everything. Will be perfectly. We might get started out to be able to take a one good slippery race. We might be able to take a lot of grip. We might be need to be ready. So, takes a good balance of performance. So let's go and get ready to get started. So this is going to get very challenging. We'll begin. So before enjoying watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to watch it anytime if you want. So it's definitely might be a wonderful entertainment. We might be able to do the best moment to enjoy. Thank you and have a good day. Now, this is going to get very wet out there on Red Bull Ring, folks. So, this is going to get very challenging on the wet. It's going to get everything will be ready. So, this is going to be able to take a one slippery course condition. It's going to get everything has to be started. So, luckily that this is going to be able to have to take for a new start. That this one might be able to keep using on the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3. We might be able to do perfectly. We might be able to get ready. So, let's start for this race, and then this is going to get very wet and slippery for this time of the race, because this is definitely might be having a one traction effect. So this is going to be able to make sure, because just going to make sure whenever you really get too uncomfortable for it. So just going to be able to use traction control 1 in case. So this is definitely might be able to do for a little safety on that this is going to be able to have the time for the risk. So, looks like this is going to get very wet out there, folks. So, if we must be very strategized, if we have to be able to make sure, because this is going to get very heavy wet out there. So, just going to make sure that whenever you really want to go for the grip, this will might have a chance. It's going to get everything has to be very slippery whenever we have to be able to drive fast and quick, because this is going to get very wet and obvious that this is going to get everything going on. So, make sure whenever you're going to choose any two tires that might be suitable on the rain, because this is going to get everything has to do it. So it will might be able to do perfectly for a Group 3 race. So hope this is going to be quite very challenging for us if we might be prepared to be able to take one good successful to be able to succeed. So it's definitely might be able to take forever and long. So just going to be able to make sure, try not to loosen up the grip. That will might cause a spin out during this time in the rainy day race. It's going to get everything has to go in. So just going to be able to take for a little heavy wet that this is going to get everything has to do it, because this is going to get everything has to take plenty of grip. It's going to need to take a little bit more chance. So if possible that whenever you really want to choose for any two rain tires, that this is definitely might be very work on the track. So it's going to get very wet and slippery that this is going to get everything has to do it. Well, looks like this is going to get very sloppy. So this has to be able to go again. So looks like maybe this is definitely might be able to see for giving a little bit more time to see how this will might go. So let's just gonna try the intermediate tires. So this is definitely might be able to work well. So this is definitely might be able to do plenty of grip. That this is gonna be able to take moderate. The effect is gonna get everything has to do it. So, well, I bet that this is gonna get very slippery, because it's definitely like that we're just surfing. So, well, we're racing on the track, because this is going to be able to take on the wet condition. It's going to get very challenging to be able to take the risk. It's going to get everything going in. Now, it definitely might be pretty hard to be able to do it. So, well, whenever it's going to be able to take the hot lap, it's going to get everything has to do it by the wrist. this has to be able to master on the wet course. Is going to get everything has to do it. So, well, hope we just remembered that the Group B rally cars did pretty well on the repechage race. So it's definitely might be pretty good to be able to do it. So this is going to be able to take plenty more strength. That this is definitely might be able to push the throttle. Is going to get everything sideways. Is going to get everything in. So whenever it's going to be able to see for a brake indicator check, so just going to be able to go for it, because this has to be able to take plenty of wet work on the track. Is going to get everything very moderate. That this is definitely might be able to take the grip. Is going to get everything plenty of heavy work. Is going to get everything going. But we all know that having a good race on the range is pretty fun. So it's definitely might be very challenging for a Group 3 race. So it's going to be able to take plenty of stability check. Is going to get everything going. So just going to be able to use it very wisely on the turn. So it's going to get very long if we have to do it, because this is going to be able to take forever long lasting race. Is going to get everything going by the hour. It's going to get everything has to do it very closer whenever we have to do it, because we all know that this is going to be able to take for over 2 minutes on the track. By having a range addition, is going to get everything very slippery. So we have to be very careful, but try not to lose any grip, because this is going to get everything has to do it. Alright, it's just going to be able to keep speeding up, and then just going to be able to push it for the higher limit. Is going to need to take a little bit more practice time. That this is going to might need to master the range by using a Group 3. Is going to get everything slower turns. Is going to take plenty more seconds to be able to keep racing up the speed. Well, hope this is definitely might be our first time to be able to participate in the manufactured series. Going to be on the range, because this is going to be a one good epic race. Is going to get everything started. So hope this is definitely might be able to find out, see whenever it's going to be good. That should be able to do for one good successful race. Is going to get everything in to be prepared for. Now, just going to be able to keep pushing up the higher grip. That this is going to be able to take a little bit more time. It's going to get everything it has to take for only a few gap distance. It's going to get everything in. Whenever it's going to be able to have to take a little bit more slow time amount, is going to get everything pretty successful to be able to do it. Okay, keep pushing in, and then just going to be able to stay stabilized in a good position. Is going to get everything has to do it close. So last week we did pretty good for having a Group 3 race on the clear morning daytime by a clear sky. So looks like this is going to be able to be ready for having a tough rainy day race. Is going to get everything has to do it. But it is going to be very moderate grip. That this is going to get everything very challenging. That we must be prepared. So this is going to be a very intense condition for this race. So hope this is definitely might be able to do pretty good. That this is going to be able to take for one moment of the time. But it may loosening up a grip sometimes. So we have to be able to be very careful. Try not to lose any grip. That this is definitely might be able to have a chance to be able to do for one good clean race moment. It's going to get everything a lot of more time. That this is going to be able to take a lot of faster skill. Is going to get everything in to be able to go on. So it's going to be pretty messy around. So hope we might be able to try one chance to be able to master the track on the rainy day. It is going to be very slippery and difficult. So this is going to be able to take a little bit more time. That this is going to be able to keep up on the throttle. So hope this is definitely might be able to do it okay. But whenever it's going to be able to take the most, this is going to be able to take plenty of hard turns. It's going to get everything has to do it. So, well, it's going to get very aggressive. That this is going to might need to be able to push it there. So don't get too overwhelmed, because this is going to be a very tough one to be able to take plenty of pressure work. Is going to get everything in. So it's going to be a slow race, but it might be need to do plenty of gentle turn. Is going to get everything in to be able to take a little bit more time to be able to take the traction. Is going to get everything stay on it. Okay, which is going to be able to take plenty of pressure work is going to go in. Well, looks like this is going to be a very hard race, so it has to be able to do it. So it will might be able to do perfectly to be able to do for one successful Group 3 race. It will might be able to do it well until if we have to be able to do successfully. So, well, good thing raining test on Group 3 was right, because this is going to be very slippery, that this is going to be able to take the challenge. But additionally, a balance of performance will be required, that this is definitely might be able to work well. But it's going to get very loosened up, that this is going to be able to take plenty of grip very wisely, because this may need to take some plenty of practice to be able to take a clean lap. It's going to get everything in. Okay, looks like, hope this is definitely might be able to work well until whenever it's going to be able to take a little bit chance. So this is going to go and get ready to join in for the race. Whenever it finds out, this should be able to do it. So it will might be able to take plenty more one lap of a chance. Will might be able to take for one faster improvement to be able to do for a wet course. So now this is going to get everything will be ready to go. So hope everybody is about to be excited for having a nice rainy day in Red Bull Ring. So hope this is going to be able to take for plenty of slippery, stabilized strategy. It's going to get everything has to do it. So, well, hope this is going to be able to take for one tough race. It's going to get everything has to be prepared. So right now, this is going to be able to take for a warm-up to be able to get started. So, well, even if possible that this is going to be able to take for racing immediate tires and wet tires. So hope this is definitely might be able to show the difference, that this is definitely might be pretty excellent. So now this is going to be able to drive fast and quick, and then this is going to get pretty heavy going on. So just going to be able to take for plenty of braking points. It's going to get everything going. Okay, looks like Don Council is going on, and then this is going to get everything has to be ready. Well, it's a rainy day. Just gonna be able to give for one message chat. Okay. Okay, just having a rainy day condition, so we will might be able to have to take a lot of slow grip if we must be able to do pretty successful to do it. So hope this is definitely might be able to be ready. So hope this is going to be able to take for plenty of slippery race. We might be able to take a little bit more time with a chance. So well, hope this is going to be a very tough warm-up, that we will might be prepared to get started. Okay, so looks like we might be able to use both compounds at once, because this is going to get everything a lot of wet grip, that this is going to get everything going. So hope this is definitely might be able to be ready for a 10-minute qualifying time, whenever it's going to be quite very good to be able to use both for. So okay, sorry about that, just having a little bit headset to be able to reconnect. So this is going to get everything has to be ready, folks. So here we go. This is going to be able to take a 10-minute qualifying time, that this is going to get everything will be wet. So let's go. This has to be quite very good to be able to have a one good chance of this qualifying lap. Is going to get everything will be prepared. Okay, looks like Dankert 77 will might go first, so looks like this is definitely might be pretty obvious to be able to see it. Okay, looks like he's taking the first braking point, and now looks like gonna be able to take it nice and slow. Okay, now looks like this is gonna get very stabilized, that this is gonna get everything has to do it well properly, folks. So now this is going to get everything has to do it. Okay, looks like this is going to be able to take for one good test, that this is going to be able to work this out. Okay, so this is going to be able to take plenty of stabilize needed, so TCS1 should probably able to work. So hope this is definitely might be able to take a little bit more stabilization to be able to do for one good proper position. Well, hope this is definitely might be able to keep up for taking a lot of SR work that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time. Okay, looks like this is going to get everything has to do it, but it will might be able to take plenty of small speed that this is going to be able to go for less. Now, it's going to get very difficult if we have to be able to successful to master the track for a good rainy day condition. It is going to get very slippery. Okay, going for it. Now, this is going to get everything has to loose up on the grip. So, hope this is definitely might be able to have braking points earlier, folks. So, this is going to be a hard one that we might be able to brace ourselves. It's like a sailing on the tarmac. Is going to get very slippery around that this is going to be able to do like a jet ski. Okay, that should probably be able to do for starting up the qualifying time. Is going to get everything might get everything ready. Okay, take some time, and then this is going to be able to take a slow turn. Is going to get everything going. So hope this is definitely might be pretty good to see if everybody is doing well. Hope this is going to get plenty more time that this is going to be able to take the wet grip amount. Is going to get everything in to be prepared for. Okay, here we go. Now this is going to get okay. Looks like that might be able to be end up by the time, and then this is going to get very slippery. So looks like better have to make sure whenever you really want to be able to avoid contact, because this is going to be able to have the penalty on in case, because this is going to get very wet out there. So, well, it's going to get very slippery whenever we have to do it, because this is going to get a whitening. Is going to be able to take a little bit more tied around to do it. Okay, it's like taking a little bit hard time to be able to deal with the heavy rain out there. So this is going to get very wet out there. So this is going to might need to take for a new setup of time, because this has to be able to do it, folks. Because, well, hope it might be able to have to take plenty of more time until this is going to get very wet out there. Okay, hope this is definitely might be able to go in. Okay, looks like taking the 2-minute time is going to get very difficult to be able to do it. So hope this is definitely might be able to do for a little warm-up check until this has to be ready to be able to take for one faster time to be able to go on. Okay, looks like this is going to get very splashing around. So hope this is definitely might be able to do it. Okay, so looks like this is going to be able to have to do for different method ways. It's going to get everything in. So by the time that this is going to be able to have a rain racing strategy, is going to get very different compared to the tarmac clear weather condition. So this is going to get very heavy tough that this is going to be able to go around, that this is going to be able to take it nice and slow. But it is going to be able to take plenty of amount of the grip, but well, it's going to get very slippery if we have to be able to do it for one good successful moment. That will might be able to come for the time, because it's going to get very wet out there, folks, because it is going to be a very long lasting rain event. Is going to get everything in. So it will might be able to lose up the pressure, but it is going to might need to take a little chances. Is going to might need to take a lot of more time. It's going to get everything has to do for one heavy rain event. Is going to get everything in for. So windshield wipers are always turned on, and then this is going to get everything has to do it whenever we have to be able to do for a raining successful race, that this is going to get everything in. So looks like this is going to be able to take for one pit stop that this is going to be able to work on the heavy wet tire. It's going to get everything going on. So no need to refuel. So this is definitely might be able to see how it goes. So good thing that this is going to be able to take for one strategy tip. It's going to be able to go in. So looks like I might be able to test out on the heavy wet, because this is going to be able to take a lot of speed that this is going to be able to give way to be able to proceed. But I hope that this is going to be able to take one chance at this, because this is going to be able to take one plenty of raining skills. Is going to get everything needs to be able to do it properly, that this is going to get everything in. But it might be able to work faster to be able to go wet quicker and wet smoother to be able to take a little bit slip amount of a grip effect. Is going to get everything in to be able to keep up. Okay, now let's just going to be able to make it nice and slow. Okay, now this is going to be able to keep well maintain the pressure, but try not to lose any stability. Is definitely might need to come in to be able to take a little bit more time. But it's going to get everything has to take plenty of grip work. It's going to get everything going in by the wet. Okay, so it looks like a minute and 50 seconds. So it looks like I'm really going to go for it to be able to take this for one hard challenging goal moment. Is going to get everything moving well pressure up to be able to do it. Okay, now looks like this is going to get everything in. Okay, that should probably be able to do it much often, and then this is going to might need to be able to take. So looks like let's go for it and take the minute and 50 seconds on the clock, and this is going to get everything has to do for the risk. So it's going to get everything a lot of slippery wet out there, because this is going to might need to keep up. Okay, looks like going down for a minute and 30 seconds, and then this is definitely might be able to do plenty of maintain work. It's going to get everything well properly, that this is going to get everything has to stay on it. Okay, just going to be able to stay on it and then keep racing up the throttle. For only a first gear, we might be able to take a little bit more time to be able to re-accelerate. So this is going to get everything has to do it. This works very properly whenever this is going to be able to take a little bit more time, but it might be able to take a one good clean turn, that this is going to get everything to be avoided. Okay, that should probably be able to do it until this is definitely might be able to have to take for one heavy turn, that this is going to be able to make it moderately, that this is going to be able to have to take. Okay, now this is going to be able to take plenty more clean turns, and now, well, it always gets pretty wet out there, so just going to have to do it. Okay, 10 seconds left on the time remaining, and now looks like this is going to be able to take plenty more work, and then hope this is definitely might be able to be ready, because this has to be able to do for only one shot at this. Okay, so that was a pretty difficult challenge to be able to get everything strategized to be able to do for a rainy day track. So hope we might be able to learn more to be able to have to do for plenty of rain skills. It's going to get everything has to be able to be ready. Now looks like this is going to be able to have to take a lot of work. It's going to get everything wet on the track, folks. So this is going to be very different for one racing strategy. Is going to be able to go method. So hope this is definitely might be pretty good to see how good for this race we might be able to take a rainy day track, because let's go for it, and this is going to be able to take a good challenge until this is going to be able to take for one good qualifying complete, until this will might be able to move on until we are good to go. Alright, looks like this is going to get everything will be ready to go, folks. So this is going to get very heavy wet out there. So looks like this is going to be a very tough one, folks, because, well, we did good on the 10-minute qualifier. So this is going to get everything will be ready for a 15-lap challenge. So hope this is definitely might be able to stay stabilized. We might be able to have the time check to be able to go in and be prepared for. So, well, looks like Don Calzone VIP is right. Be patient, viewers. This is all about taking a clean race we might be able to master on a rainy day condition. It's going to get everything will be prepared. So don't get too over aggressive, because this is going to be able to take a lot of raining skills. We might be able to take a good time to be ready. So let this be the first round of the race and have a good rainy day race. We might be able to stay focused. So here we go. Let's get ready to get started. Welcome to the 2019-20 Exhibited Series on the Manufactured Series on Gran Turismo Sports. Now we'll be able to race on the rainy day on Red Bull Ring, so let's go and get started. So first up is Dan Kier 77 on the pole position with the Alfa Romeo 4C. Second place is Kid 710 with the Mercedes-AMG GT3. Third place is CS Mimov with the Porsche 911. Fourth place is TF #1 pick with the Chevy Corvette C7. Fifth place is Price's 311 with the Porsche 911 RSR. Sixth place is TE1337 Storminator with the Nissan GTR. Seventh place is Roller 027 with the Mercedes AMG. Eighth place is Grossard Garten with the Jaguar F-Type. Ninth place is GT Racer X with the Nissan GTR GT3. 10th place is Price's 22 with the Ford Mustang. 11th place is Don Calzone VIP with the Lexus RCF GT3 2017. 12th place is my own Parasite with the Porsche 911 RSR. 13th place is Ender Wiggins 62 with the Lexus RCF GT3. 14th place is Wolf A1 with the Subaru WRX Group 3. 15th place is Turismo Perez with the Alfa Romeo 4C. 16th place is myself with the Chevy Corvette C7 UTRS Racing Library. 17th place is Katana 268 with the Mercedes. 18th place is Hemi TT07 with the Chevy Corvette. 19th place is A69 Fed 1213. And this is going to get everything. We'll be prepared to get started for a 15-lap race, folks. So hope this is going to get very wet out there. So be very patient, do the best clean race whenever you get, because this is going to get very stabilized, that this is going to get everything will be prepared. So TCS on, so be sure stay on a good balance on this race. So this is going to get everything will be prepared. So here we go. Let this be the first round of the race, and the first race on the rainy day track is going to get everything going. So let's go for it and see. This is going to be a survival of the fittest. It is going to get very wet out there, so this is going to be able to do it, and then this is going to get everything properly, that this is going to get everything in. Now looks like this is going to get very wet out there, folks, so it's going to get very patient out there. So Don Calzone VIP is telling us that this is going to get everything has to be prepared to stabilize on this one. So it's going to get very wet. Okay. Just going to be able to take some time and then re-accelerate, and then this is going to get everything going. So now this is going to get everything to be seen here, because this is going to get everything a little mist on the mist. This is going to get everything in. So this is going to get everything has to be able to make sure that the brakes are definitely might be very well properly to be in check. So it's going to get plenty of hard time to be able to perform an overtake. It's going to get everything in. Now looks like this is going to get everything to be stabilizing in. So let's just going to be able to do it, and then this is going to get everything. We might take it slow because this is going to get pretty obvious that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time to be able to go for. Trying to keep up onto Interwigan 62, so it's going to get pretty slippery out there that this is going to get everything has to stay put. Always going to keep up the throttle. Is going to get everything pretty well maintained. Is going to get in there because it's going to get pretty well pressure, and now looks like this is going to get everything has to proceed to go in. Now looks like how everybody is doing. So looks like it's pretty challenging that this is going to might need to take plenty of grip work. It's going to get everything to be well proper to maintain. So it's going to get everything in, and looks like Interwigan 62 is early in onto the first pit stop. Is definitely might be able to change for the heavy wet tires. It's going to get everything in the press on to do it. So looks like this is going to get very hazardous. It's going to get everything has to do it. So just going to be able to stay on track, and then this is going to get everything has to keep up. Will might be able to do for one time for the moment of this race, because looks like this is going to get everything has to see it for it. So compared to the Group B rally cars, has definitely might be taking the debut race on the Red Bull Ring by the rainy day condition. So it's going to get very slippery that this is definitely might be pretty work on the all-wheel drive. So Group 3 definitely might be able to take plenty work well to be able to take a rainy day for a front engine rear car, and the mid-engine car is going to get everything will be well properly that this is going to be able to avoid without any mistake to be further noticed that this is going to be able to take a little bit more grip time to be able to keep up on the pressure. Okay, looks like just going to be able to take a little bit more time, and then just keep it nice and slow turn. Is going to get everything well pressured up that this is going to be able to make it there. Okay, very good. Just going to be able to take a good turn, and now this is going to get very slippery. Okay, looks like my own parasite just dodged my attempted spin out. So that was definitely might be pretty well cautioned to be able to do it. Now it's going to get very longer that this is going to be able to take well endurance moment. Is going to get everything well properly that this is going to be able to stay careful as much as possible to be able to do it. But it's going to get everything steady to be able to make it well performance. So it's going to get very patiently that this is going to get everything in for. Now looks like TF number 1 pick is in third place. Hope he can probably do it, because this is going to be able to take the best time for the moment. It's going to get very stabilized that this is going to get everything, keep it up and keep going. Looks like Whoop A1 just definitely might be able to survive the struggle, and then this is going to be able to regain. And A69 Fifth 12-13 passes on, and now he's about to go in, because this is going to get pretty lucky that this is going to be able to see out this struggle. Will might be able to take it in for. This is going to be able to take for one heavy challenge. It's going to get pretty situated that this is going to get everything have to go on. Now it looks like plenty of fuel left remaining, and then this is going to be able to deplete it until whenever it's going to be reached at 75%. So looks like yellow flag just called in, and now this is going to be able to taking a good look to be able to see it. So looks like this is going to get pretty happy to be able to. Oh, looks like this is definitely might be seeing this one. A69 Fed just definitely might be losing control. Now this is definitely might be able to try to make sure this is going to be a patient race. Is going to get everything in, but it is going to be quite very surprising to see this one, because this is going to be able to have to take plenty of stability work. It's going to get everything going in by the check. It's going to get everything. Oh man, this is going to get everything doing. So, oh man, looks like I just lost it. Now this is going to be losing up on that grip. It's going to get very challenging. It's going to be able to take a little bit more time. Well, looks like this is going to get pretty slippery out there, folks, because this is going to get very wet, and then this is going to get very challenging that this is going to might need to take a lot of pressure work for it. So this is how it always happens, because every race on the rain is getting impatient. It's going to get everything has to do it. So this is gonna might need to do a lot of work. It's gonna get everything has to do it by the main time of the result. Is gonna get everything in to be able to do it. So maybe this is definitely might be need to have a little guidebook of how to race on a rainy day condition to win, because this is definitely might be able to take a little bit more time, that this is gonna need to keep up the work. But it is a very desperate, challenging racing moment. It's gonna get everything situated, so it's gonna might need to take plenty of work. It's gonna get everything in, so it's gonna be very slower, but it will might be need to do it plenty of time. It's gonna get everything well checked to do it. Now looks like this is gonna be able to go in there, and now it's gonna have to take plenty of turns. That this is gonna get everything has to do it. Now looks like it's gonna get very close, and now looks like I saw two of them in three, and now this is gonna have to take a little bit more aggressive on the pressure. If possible, that this is definitely might be very good use for the manual transmission. Is definitely might be able to take a good skill sequence. Is gonna get everything going in. Now it's gonna be able to take plenty of steady grip. Is gonna get everything has to press on, but it's gonna might need to be able to take, because it's gonna get very wet and simple. It's gonna be able to do it. Okay, looks like just gonna be able to catch up. Now it's gonna get everything has to do it, but it is gonna be able to take plenty of steady grip. That this is gonna might need to be able to take a little bit more suited for moment. Is gonna get everything in. So well, hope this is definitely might be able to do it for a little bit more time. Okay, so looks like Ender Wiggins 62 comes back in, and now looks like he's passing on, but taking one quick step up the throttle. Is going to be able to go in. Now luckily that this is going to be able to do it okay, that this is going to be able to have the best choice, that this is going to be able to have to use the heavy wet tire. Is going to get everything going, but it is going to be pretty long, so looks like this is going to be able to take only 10 more laps to go, but it's going to be able to take a little bit more extra time to be able to go back, and then just going to be able to catch up to the rest, because this is going to get Racing Whitney is going to be able to go in. So this is going to be able to take plenty more throttle, that this is going to be able to have the time who might go in. Okay, so looks like this is definitely might be pretty good to be able to take some time, and then okay, just going to be able to be very careful until, okay, looks like my own Parasite just slowing down and get back in on the track, and then looks like METT07 is definitely might be able to take a little recovery time. Is going to be able to go in. Now looks like this is going to be able to have to see the poor effort of the SR decrease. Is going to be able to have a poor effect. Okay, looks like having a little bump is going to be able to have to do a little exercise caution to be able to make sure, because this is going to be able to take a lot of risk. It's going to get everything in to be able to keep it well concentrated. And oh, looks like GT Racers S is about to be able to lose up the grip, so he's about to be able to resume to get back on track, and then looks like he's continuing in, and then this is going to be able to resume the catch up. It's going to get everything in, but it's going to be able to get slippery close, so be very patient, folks, because this is going to get very wet out there. That this is going to be able to take a wet race in the wild. Is going to get everything has to do it. Okay, A69 Fed is in the pits now. This is going to be able to take a little bit of time to refuel, until this is going to be able to give a further notice that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time to be able to stay back on it. But it's going to be very longer, that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time to be able to keep up the pressure. So no matter that this is going to be able to have the first time to be able to race in the manufacturer series, it's going to get pretty wet out there, so this is going to be able to take a lot of stability on the grip. It's going to get everything going. Okay, looks like continuing on to catching up onto the other remaining current drivers is going to be able to take some time on the second straight after the second turn. Now it's going to be able to get closer, so this is definitely might be able to take plenty of strategy work. It's going to get everything going on. Now looks like third turn is going to be quite very tricky and simple, that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time, and then keep resuming the throttle, and then try not to lose that balance. It's going to get everything has to be able to have a little trouble going on out there, so it's definitely might be able to need to do a lot of work. That this is going to be able to take a grip, is going to be able to take plenty more calm time to be able to get. So it might be able to do well if we have to be able to have a wet race to succeed. Okay, looks like this is going to be able to have a little loosen up on it, so looks like this is going to be able to have a one poor effort. It's going to be able to take plenty more work, so it definitely might be able to take a little bit calming effect. It's going to get everything has to do it. But it is going to be very slippery out there, folks, but it is going to be very too aggressive, so it definitely might need to take a little bit more time. Okay, 7 lap is going to be able to do it, so this is going to be able to take a little bit more time to get back on it, because don't want to take last place, is going to get very poor effort, is going to might need to take. So looks like we just really need to take more practice on the range, because we always might need to be able to take a lot of experience for Group 3 cars we might be able to take on the rainy day conditions. So it is definitely might be able to take plenty more skills. It's going to get everything has to make it nice and slow. Okay, just going to be able to keep racing up the throttle now. It is going to be able to take 47 seconds gap on the track. Is going to get everything in for. So Dan Kiert 77 is still takes the lead. Now this is going to be able to take good longer takes. That this is going to be able to take the duration effect of the grip. Is going to get everything has to stay on it. Now looks like first gear is definitely might be able to have the safety's first condition for use. So it's definitely might be able to get on, and then this is going to be able to take a little loosen up on the effect. It's going to get very situated for taking a lot of more pressure on the turns. It's going to get everything in to do it. Okay, well, hope this is going to be able to have a first race to be able to have everything in. So looks like it's going to get very slower to be able to make a slowest race. That this is definitely might be able to turn out the worst for it. So it might take long until if we have to be able to survive this race, that this is going to be able to take plenty of wet work around the track. It's going to get everything in. Okay, looks like A69 bet just definitely took, and now looks like dead in last place. Now this is going to be able to have to take a little bit more time to be able to get back on the run. So looks like this is going to get very troubling on the rain. It's going to get very slippery. That this is definitely might be able to loosen up on the grip. Now it's going to be pretty difficult. So well, sometimes it is getting impatient. That this is going to might need to be able to take a lot of reining work. It's going to get everything has to be settled in to be able to take plenty of catching up paces to do. But no idea that this is going to be able to see how this might be able to work to be able to have this for the race win on the rainy day condition. Is going to get everything situated. Now let's just going to be able to take a little bit more TCS 0 to see. Let's find out and see how this will work. But it's going to be able to have to get back onto the safeties. That this is going to get everything has to do it. Okay, now this is going to be able to take a little bit more pressure time on the throttle. It's going to be able to get in there. Well, it's going to be pretty difficult that this is going to be able to make it last long, but it's going to be able to do plenty more practice. So it looks like this is going to be able to have to take the first time that this is going to be able to take an actual challenge on the rainy day condition. So looks like this is going to get very difficult to be able to make it last long. Okay, looks like that should probably be able to do it. So looks like this is going to be able to take plenty of decreased SR. Just going to be able to have to watch it very wisely. That this is going to be able to take a little bit of time to be very careful. Okay, looks like this is going to be able to avoid the spin outs. And then looks like Wolf A1 just now entering the pits. Now this is going to be able to see how this was definitely might be able to work properly. That this is going to get everything needs to be able to check on any condition is going to be able to go in. Now looks like this is going to be able to make it for the 9th lap. So Looks like only down for only 5 more to go, so this is going to be able to keep up and keep going. So, well, hope this is definitely might be able to take a little bit more time, that this is going to be able to take plenty of pressure work. It's going to get everything has to do it. I'm just trying to see how this will might be able to work on the competition. So looks like this is definitely might be the exhibition series is definitely might be able to give us a good first start to be able to take on the ring condition. Well, Felicity Digital is giving us a challenge, so looks like we can take the rainy day challenge for every manufactured race car. It definitely might be able to keep up the work to get everything in. Now, looks like this is gonna have to take a little bit more time. Okay, take a little bit slow. Okay, now looks like this is gonna get everything has to see it. This is definitely might be able to do it. Oh boy. Okay, now this is definitely might be pretty impossible to see this for a little bit length of the distance. So it's gonna be able to take for only a minute time, but it is gonna be pretty difficult. So, well, whenever possible, that this is definitely might be able to have the best suitable choice. So just going to be able to go for the manual transmission for only a rainy day condition is going to be able to do suited well. So luckily this is definitely might be able to have the best option choice, that this is definitely might be needed for use. Okay, so it's just going to be able to keep racing up, and oh man, I got spun out. This is might be need to be able to take a little bit of time to go back in. Okay, just, oh man, that is definitely might be pretty embarrassing to see this one. So had to get back on the track on this one. So this is definitely might need to take a little bit more time to be able to reaccelerate again. But bummer, this is going to be able to take a little plenty of difficult time that this is definitely might need to get there for. But it is pretty hard that this is going to be able to have to take a little bit more time, that this might need to get back on track for a little recovery. Otherwise, you'll end up disqualifying during the rainy day race event. It's going to get everything has to do it. Now, let's just going to go in and get everything has to proceed. So, well, this is going to be a very tough race. It's going to get everything has to do it. Well, it is going to be able to do plenty of work. So, it looks like this is going to be able to see how this will might be able to do it well, but okay, just going to switch back into one. So this is definitely might need for an extra boost. We might be able to need it in case. So, well, this is going to be able to have a very difficult race. It's going to get very sloppy on this one. Okay, now looks like in a matter of moments until being proceed in onto the blue flag, and now it looks like CSM's Mott is now definitely in the lead. Now this is going to get everything has to be able to see it for it. So, well, trying to be able to catch up on my own parasite, and then this is going to be very longer it takes, that this is going to be able to see. This is definitely might be able to take for one running time for it. So I know this is going to get very skilled at miss, that this is definitely might be able to take a little impatient time for it. So, well, they did good. So I hope this is definitely might be need to do it, because looks like this is going to be able to have the first round to be very differently, just like having the GR Super GT Cup is definitely might be able to have the time to be end up in last place. Well, luckily Dankert 77 is trying to be able to get back on to the first place on the position, is going to might need to be able to go on. So this is definitely might be able to take plenty of throttle work. It's going to get everything in. Now it's going to be quite very excellent closer to be able to see this one, folks, because every driver gets separated, and now this is definitely might be having one tough situation that this is going to be able to master it on the rain track. It's going to get pretty difficult, so it's definitely might be able to check it out and see it. So it gets very longer for taking plenty of longer gap distance. It's going to get pretty difficult that this one might be able to race against us, and it might be able to take plenty more time to be able to go in. Now, looks like, oh boy, this is going to be a poor effort turn, and this is definitely might be able to have this for one messy skill opportunity is going to get everything going. Well, looks like in the meantime, this may be able to cause a decreased driver rating, that this is definitely might be able to have a poor performance, because this may be able to coming out of this end, because it's going to get everything, plenty of difficult work, that this is going to get everything going on. Now, looks like Whoop A1 is now in the pits, and now this is going to be able to change up the tires. It's going to get everything has to do it for racing intermediate tires. It definitely might be able to go in. So looks like this is going to might need to be able to have the time to be able to go in and refuel. So it's definitely might be able to go in and get ready to get started. So hope this is definitely might be able to have the time to be able to be ready to take one more time of the pit stop. It's definitely might be need for a little call. Well, clearly, it's everyone's hard time of this race. It definitely might be ready to go. So, looks like here they are now, and this is definitely might be able to have the moment. We might be able to catch up and see how they did pretty well. So, looks like in the matter of 30-second gap, catching up to do. So, it definitely might be need to be able to stay focused on this one. But it is going to be a very winning moment. It's going to be able to take plenty more turns that this is going to be able to go on, but it is going to be taking a good look to see how it goes for it. So Dankirk 77 is now definitely might be still catching up to CSM Manop is now definitely might be able to keep going. So I hope this is definitely might be able to take plenty of stability grip work. It's going to get everything in to be able to take a little bit more time. Mid-engine Group 3 car is going to get very challenging ways to be able to take on the rain. It's going to get plenty of grip work. It's going to get everything going on. Now, it definitely might be able to be ready for this one. If this is definitely might be able to do it well, it's going to get pretty obvious that this is going to be able to take a little chances to see how it goes, that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time to be able to stay steady on the turn. Because as a result that this is going to be able to press on in onto the current lap, it's going to be able to go in. So looks like only down to 7 drivers to be still standing there to be able to keep for a little bit currently to be able to go on, and then this is going to be able to take a little wet time. It's going to get everything very obvious that this is going to be able to take. Now looks like going on in onto the 14th lap for them. So moving on into the 13th lap, so looks like here's for the track limit for only 0.5 seconds on the penalty. This is going to get very sloppy, that this is going to might need to take a little bit more time to be able to do it. So, well, hope everybody is trying to be able to do the best they can, because it's going to be able to do a lot of work. It's going to get everything going on to be able to see it. So looks like just going to be able to force its way onto the penalty line to be able to slow down. Now this is going to be able to see how this will might be able to come to effect, that this is going to be able to take a little bit more time. Okay, forcing way to slow down the speed, and then this is going to be able to keep catching up onto Wolf A1, and now this is going to be able to go on. And it looks like Turismo Paris is now in 3rd place, and now he's definitely might be able to have a most fastest lap he just took, and now this is definitely might be pretty good to see how he did pretty well on the rain track. It's going to get everything well strategized, that this definitely might be need to take a lot of grip, that this is going to get everything work hard to go in. But it is going to be very genuine difficult that this is going to be able to proceed to get in. Now, looks like this is going to be able to get there, but this is going to be able to have a very tough challenge for us if we have to be able to learn for a patient strategy for the rain of this race. It's going to get very challenging, that this is going to be able to go in and press on, but it is going to be able to have to do plenty of intermediate work. Is definitely might be able to have to take a lot of grip. Is going to get everything going. So it's going to be able to take for a rear balance on 3. So this is definitely might be needs in case for giving a little bit time that happens. So looks like giving a little bit 14 lap for the last place driver to be able to go in, and then looks like there's Turismo. Perez is in 3rd place, and now he's definitely might be able to keep trying to be able to go in. Now luckily it is going to be a very tough one that this is definitely might be able to have a time to be able to go in, and then just going to be able to bring the TCS back on, and then this is going to be able to do properly well. We might be able to do it, but it's going to get everything has to do it, folks, because every race is going to get very heavy around to be able to have a rainy day condition. It's going to get very slippery, so it's going to get plenty of passive work that this is going to might need to take plenty of little of aggressive work. It's going to get everything in to be able to go on. Now looks like this is going to be able to take one good chance at this, so looks like in a matter of moments until this is going to be able to take a little bit more moment to be able to see how the two are going in. So looks like Dan Kurt is about to be able to get onto the podium, and then looks like CS Minoff is now definitely might be able to go on to be able to take the podium. That this is going to be able to take a little bit time of the chance. It's going to get ready. I hope it does. And now this is going to be able to take one last stretch, and then this is going to be CS Minoff's podium, and now this is going to be quite very excellent. Now this is a pretty good excellent wet race out there, folks, but it is a pretty challenging race, and this is going to be quite tougher to be able to stay struggle that this is definitely might need to take. What an excellent wet race out there, folks. Now this is going to be quite very difficult to see how it goes, but it is all about the risk. Is going to be able to take a lot of running chances to be able to go in. Now looks like luckily that this is definitely might be pretty good, so it is definitely might be seen how the other racers might be did pretty well on the rain, because it is a lot of a rainy day strategy. Grip is going to get everything has to do it, but it is pretty difficult, but we did the best we can, because it's going to get very longer that this is going to might need to take the terms of every race for having a one single rainy day condition. So this is going to be able to take the 17th place finish, so looks like this is definitely might be able to have a hard time, that this is going to might need to do plenty of practice on the rain course. Is going to get needs to do a lot of work. Well, looks like that was a lot of fun, but it will might need to do a lot of work, folks, because this is going to get very slippery around, because this is going to might need to do a lot of work. So well, looks like this is going to be able to congratulations to CS Minoff for the win. So this is definitely might be pretty good for having a nice race that we did everything we can. So this is going to be able to take a lot of work that we need to be able to stay focused and stay steady. But well, it is definitely might be seen way too fast during the time on the rain, because it's going to get plenty of work that we need to be able to take a lot of practice. Because well, we did good on the first round on the manufacturer series. On the exhibited series is definitely might be able to be prepared for. Well, luckily this is definitely might be able to taking plenty of a lot of more time, that this is going to get everything has to do it. Well, fortunately that this is definitely might be able to have to see it. So Turismo Perez came from 15th place to 3rd place. Well, looks like he did pretty good. Now that was a lot of good catching up pace for Turismo Perez for doing a good job. Well, that was very excellent. So looks like tee-up number 1 pick did very well to be able to have to catch up onto the 3rd place finish. So he ended up on 4th. So looks like this is definitely might be pretty excellent, that this is definitely might need to take plenty of stability work, but we have to make sure that try to take too much aggressive on the raining day track is going to get everything has to do it. So we did the best we can, folks, because that was a very excellent for the first round that we will take on for the rainy day track. Is going to get very challenging and very slippery because it's going to be able to do a lot of work that this one might need to do. A rainy day practice we might be able to do for a little chance on the time trial, or even in the lobby race that this one might need to do a lot of training, that this is going to get everything will be prepared. Well, thought that this is going to be a rainy day disaster, but well, it happens. It happens whenever we had to maintain. If we had to be able to have a good balance, we might be able to have the moment of this race. So it's definitely might be very challenging. It's going to get everything has to do it. So we did good. We did very excellent. So this is definitely might be able to have a first race on the manufacturer series. So looks like we did pretty good to take on the rainy day condition on the Red Bull Ring, but better have to make sure that this is going to be able to take lot of practice to be able to take a lot of strategy. So try to be very patient during the time in the race on the wet course. It's going to get very slippery. We might be needs to stay focused to be able to stabilize. And also the TCS one should be able to have a one helpful tool that this one might be able to do it very work properly, that this one might be able to stay on track without losing a grip or preventing a spin out, because it's going to get very difficult. So we might be able to do a lot of work. If we have to be able to have a one good chance of this race, we might be able to do the best we can, because it might need to do a lot of work. It's going to get everything has to take plenty of practice until Tokyo Expressway rainy day conditions will be able to arrive anytime soon. Alright folks, glad that you really enjoyed this race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. I'll be see you guys next time for continuing on the 2019-2020 exhibited manufacturer series on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay cool.